Ooh, yeah.
Guess who's back?
Right, folks, back again on the Offside podcast with Irish League Maverick Darren Murray, or if anyone's ever played football and knows him as welcome to the O2 messaging service. What's happening, dudes? You alright?
All good, all good.
Listen, we'll just get into it here. Just your first memories of growing up football. What can you remember?
Just remember playing from St. Pat's from when I was probably about 8 or 9. Just growing up playing through there. I remember like Joe Gormley's dad and stuff was our manager.
Yeah.
Before he passed away, Joe was a great manager and stuff. And Tommy Alsop had some crack back then. There was a load of us that you probably know, that like Chen and stuff. And we Smurf and all come down for a while. And
goalkeeper?
Dave Lindsay, Gary Warwick, Patrick Baker. It was like our team was frightening when we were growing up. I lost about 3 matches in about 10 years where we were that good. Brilliant. But then it was always the Ardoyne you know. We always had like a massive crowd for under 11s, 10s, 12s. It was always massive because it was Ardoyne against the new lads.
Yeah.
Still the same now with St. Pat's play against like the Star or the Shamrock or teams like that. There, it's always a big, and there's always an head through in the top.
Wow. That's the some crack. See, when you were growing up, obviously you were a goal scorer from you were no age. Did you have any trials when you were growing up?
Not when I was younger. It was more so when I got to the likes of 14, 15, 16. It was like I was at Newington. I remember playing for the reserves for Newington's team, and Big Soap was the manager of the first team, and for some reason he just didn't like me. For some reason he wasn't playing me, so my granddad was trying to get me to stay for Malaclans when I was like 15. And at that stage, Soap had come in and says, "Look, listen, someone's contacted me about him going to Swindon, and we're going to play him for the first team and stuff." My granddad was like, "He's full of bollocks here. Don't be listening to him." We'll wait it out and stuff. And then I went and played for the first team, Newington. Lucky enough, Stug get injured.
Right.
Their first ever league win in the amateur football. So, and I went on from January, I think I'd scored something like 30 goals for them. And I moved to Swindon. So I was there for about 6 months, and I just cried every weekend to get home. I was laying on the digs by myself, and the two English boys, they were just complete weirdos. Like, I thought I was a weirdo, but it was actually them. And looking back, I was they were proper weirdos.
So how did that come about? Like, did you go over like as a YTS or?
I went there and signed for a year on the YTS, and like the pay was only like 120 quid or something, so it was basically nothing. And then I stayed for 6 months, and I remember I was scoring for the reserve team as well at Swindon, and then I went in. Danny Wilson was the manager actually.
Right.
And, we went on a pre-season trip down to, I think it was Notts Forest, and he brought me on the second half, and there was a scuffle in the tunnel, and I was involved in it, and because I was only 16 at the time, and he said to me, "Look, listen, you're not in Northern Ireland now, and you can't try and throw the head into people and stuff." And I said, "Well, if he's going to come for me, I'm going to go back at him." And he says, "Well, you can pack your stuff and leave tomorrow." And I said, "That's right, then I fucking will leave tomorrow." So he sent the taxi for me the next day, and I was on the next flight home.
Jesus Christ.
That was me gone, mate. And then just come home. I was like, whenever I come home, I went to Newry. I was getting more at Newry than what I was when I was over in England.
Yeah.
I was 16, and I thought it was fucking the best thing ever.
Yeah.
But now you look back, you're going, "Fuck me, I wish I'd have put my head down a wee bit more."
Yeah. That's unbelievable. Brilliant. So obviously that you came back. Once you came back, you were still 16. Were you still like? Did you just finish school or what? Or
I was there at 15.
So come back from Swindon. And did you say for Newry straight away, or what happened?
I went and met the first manager I went and met was David Jeffrey. Right. And my granddad sat and talked to him, and he says, "Look, listen, we want to sign him. I know he's a great, good prospect and stuff. We'll watch him at Newington and whatever. And we would like to sign him." My granddad says, "Right, okay." Gives the details of his contract and stuff, and he says, "Well, we'll give him £50 a week." And my granddad looks at me and goes, "Right, okay." As my granddad does, he goes, "Right, well, what's his sign-on fee?" And Darren goes, no, he's 16. He's never getting no sending off at 16. And he goes, Maganda looks at me and goes, right, well, look, listen, we'll get back to you. We get outside. Maganda goes, try not getting no cut out of your sending off. You're not fucking right, he says, right, dead on. So I was that dead in the water. And then we went and met Baxter, which later on down the line I played for, but we met as well. And his was sort of similar. It was, and they were sort of giving me, I think, £100 or something. I can't remember what the wage was. Maganda says, right, well, that seems a wee bit alright. There's £100 for you, or no matter what. But do we play first team and whatever? And we went and met Jerry Flynn, who was the manager in Newry at the time. We met him up in the Lansdowne Hotel. We go in, Maganda, the first thing he says is, what do you want to drink? And Maganda looks at me and goes, if you say a pint of harp song, I'll hit you a kick. And Jerry offered me a great deal at 16. Like, you know, we couldn't actually believe that what he offered us at 16.
Right.
So that sort of way swayed us down, because it was coming back. I had no education, I had no work, I had no skills at work and stuff. So that was sort of way my only income, to sort of way try and pay my mum a bit of housekeeping stuff and get me out at the weekends or whatever else. But at the time, I loved going down there. I was good crack.
So who all was down at Newry at that stage when you went down?
Connor down. Murphy was down there. The Wizard was down there.
Wizard.
Me and Fra had some crack. Connor Downey. I think Connor turned to Christianity at the time, so he was a bit weird driving down if I didn't like it down. You know, Minto, Peter Murray was down there. He was a coach down there. His driving is something else. He used to lean the steering wheel like a steer in the car, would have been wobbling everywhere. You would have been sitting going, please help me, get me out of this car. But Joe Gormley came down as well. Joe came down for a job. And I think they offered Joe good money as well, but I think Joe already had it set. I think he was still Crumlin Star at the time, and I think Joe already had it set that he knew where he wanted to go. Yeah. But I think some of the time weren't ready until then. Obviously, Saucy Brown stepped in and gave him a hand to get down there. Yeah. But Joe came down for a good load of weeks and trained with us, and all the boys, no, he was decent at the time, as you well know and we know. But Jerry busted his balls to get him down, and it just wouldn't happen. I think he's actually related to someone, to Jerry. I think it's his Marguerite's, Jerry's, someone's.
That's amazing there, brilliant. So, you stayed at Newry. How long did you stay there for? A couple of seasons?
I was there for a season, but we got relegated, and the chairman had pulled the plug. I don't know what happened. There was a big hoorah about everything. The chairman had done everyone in with wages at the end of the season and stuff, and the club was going bankrupt. And he done Jerry in for a couple of load of grand. And so whenever I went to sign for DC, Paddy Kelly phones me and he goes, "Dude, we can't sign you." And I says, "Why?" He says, "Because Newry have you down as a 2-year contract." And I says, "They couldn't. I only signed a year." He says, "No, they've stitched you up." And I was trying to get in contact with Jerry and couldn't no way to get through to him because he'd already moved the club and stuff. And me and big John Combrade actually was. And John couldn't get his contract there because Newry wouldn't let us go because they were looking money to sort of get rid of a few debts. And then it actually was like a good couple of months. It was actually a couple of days before the season actually started that our contracts went through. So they end up letting us go. Right. But I was there for a good season. It was a decent enough. Like, it was a good experience for my first year.
Go ahead. I know it's alright. So you go up to DC. Paddy Kelly says the manager.
Paddy Kelly was there, yeah.
How was that?
DC was brilliant. DC was very, very good. You know, Mackers, Steve McLaurin and stuff was there with Kevin Keegan. Paul Robson was in nets and stuff. It was a good side. Johnny Harton as left back. It was a couple of great players. Big Maxie up top was an absolute header, but he was a wonder goal scorer. You know, it was the typical West Belfast team, full of absolute headbangers. You know, but there was times like you were like your wages, you didn't get your wages sometimes. Sorry, you just told the drinking in the bar.
That's what I was about to say. Straight into social after.
Brilliant. You didn't even have to collect them; they just took it off your bar tab.
Brilliant, good stuff. So you scored 12 league goals in your first season for DC. Yeah. Were you playing up front most of the matches with Maxie?
Sort of I think it was right wing because Jerry Flynn sort of played me right wing most of the times at Newry, and then a couple up top whenever they were struggling. For some reason, I don't know why. And then when I went to DC, I was injured at the start for a load of games, and then the second part of the season sort of kicked on. I think it was like 7 goals against Portadown that season out of the 12, and then they signed me the season after. So I was no wonder why they signed me.
That's it. Big Bugger McFall comes in.
Big Ronnie. Big.
He came in. You moved in the January, was it?
No, they came in January and signed a pre-agreement in January. But at that stage, Paddy Kelly had left DC. There was a bit of going on, and he didn't like it, so he had left. And I think it was Stephen Smaller come in.
Right.
Molly says, "Look, listen, we're trying to keep the same group for next year. We're finishing well this season, stuff. We're staying up, and it'll be a good rattle next year." And it's sort of he said that like in one of his first sessions, and I'd already met Ronnie and the chairman of Portadown, and I was looking, going, "Oh fuck, right." And I knew the type of fella Smalley was. If you tell him something and he doesn't like it, he's going to voice it till he's sort of like what I am. And I was laughing. I was going, right. And I remember I said to one of the players, I can't remember if it was Steve McLaurin, and Marcus went, "You saying for who?" And everyone. And I was like, "Oh fuck." And Smalley pulled me at the side and he says, "Look, listen, what's a crack away?" And I says, "Well, I said the pre-agreement." And he only played me about 3 games after that. So that was basically it. But I really enjoyed DC. Like it was a family club, and I made good friends over there that I'm still good mates with now. So I enjoyed it.
Yeah, brilliant. So as we say, Portadown come in. Your first season, you finished 3rd, top goal scorer in the league, behind Boise and Waterworth. It's not bad company, like.
I think it was only probably about 19 or 20. Yeah. You know, it was my first. I think it was maybe 26 goals, 27 goals. I can't remember.
Unreal.
And I think M2 boys were in the 30s, but they were proper in their prime. But I think Boise ended up getting a move 2 years after that to Werder Bremen.
Yeah, he did.
So it showed, and obviously Waterworth. Everyone knows Waterworth. He's a prolific goal scorer. But I was good. I think that season I ended up runners up young player of the year as well. I think Connor Devlin ended up getting it that year, and but that season we were flying at that stage with great players down at Portadown, with some great players out of the years that I was there, but we just never had that. It was always like stupid mistakes that cost us in massive matches.
Yeah.
That's based us out of title sites, you know. But we were always so close, but then so far away.
Yeah.
But it was great. I definitely loved my time down there.
Yeah, you were always sort of just couldn't get over the line, you know what I mean? Especially with like the Irish Cup final at Mad this season where Galtie's through and all, and then
Mate, rub it in.
like,
I tell you,
like come on, I had McFall on the sideline going bonkers.
I know. I can remember because I was like had an Achilles strain about 2 weeks before that, and he put me through like a cortisone and stuff in Jackson, and I was buzzing in training the week before the Irish Cup final. He's coming, he's saying like I need you and all, and I was buzzing. Then he would get into the hotel before the game, and then we're sitting down. He calls me over. He says, "Probably give you about 15, 20 minutes." And not sure, and I was livid. And ever from it, it was just on my side. I was going like because I was top goal scorer for I think probably the 4 years that I was there every year, and it was always in the 20s, 19s, 20s, 23s, 26s, and whatever. And for him to come and do that to me, it was not that I had a fallout with him. It's just it hurt me at that time. Like I was like, you know what? Like this is probably the biggest stage that I'll get for a way.
Yeah.
And I'm probably only going to play 10 to 15 minutes. And to be fair, like the team we had was very good. The likes of Twigs, or who was it? McAllister up front, and Twiggy. And I was thinking like they didn't really have that much chances, and it was just back and forth. And then they got that there sort of we fluke goal, you know, where we sort of had a standing off and a blatant free kick because it was a blatant back pass. But sure, listen, referees don't see stuff sometimes, and that's the way football is.
Madness. So where are we? So as you say, you're top goal scorer and all, and you're doing really well. And then Portadown sort of kept signing all like Linfield players. What was the crack there?
I don't know. Just you know that I think they were letting wee Ribs go, who was he's still young and he was still fresh. He wanted to win stuff. He still had that mentality in his head that I want to win. Like wee Ribs is probably one of the best players I've seen training. That brings training into matches. Yeah. Like his training's high intensity the way he plays in games. And Galty was the same, you know. Galty never pulled out of a tackle in training as well as on a football match.
Yeah.
He brought McAllister in, he brought Galty in, he brought Ribs in. Then I think he ended up bringing, was it Philly Larry? Who was it? The Blues as well.
Yeah.
You know, so he over the time he did like bringing the Blues in, but I think it was because he knew that they had the winning mentality inside them. You know, he probably had players in certain areas where they were that didn't really not win nothing, but didn't have the balls to sort of way grab a game by the scruffy and neck and drag it into a win.
Yeah. So after the cup final, there's a bit of interest from across the water. The likes from Scotland, like Inverness and Greenock and stuff. How did that come about?
So I think it was like after that, I sort of came out and gave a statement just saying that I would like a new challenge and stuff, whether it be in the Irish League or whether it be across water and stuff. And you know, people always says that it probably wasn't good enough to go across, but I always believed that it was. I just messed about too many times and got too many chances. You know what I mean? But it was like whenever Greenock come in, I went, you know what, I'll go over and give it a try. And the manager was there. He says, look, listen, if we had the money that Portadown want, we would take in a heartbeat. And it was the same as Inverness. John Hughes was like, Darren, I'd love to sign you. The week and a half I was there, he was like, we need a player like you. Like, boy can hold it up, win flick odds and score goals. Yeah. We'd take it. But they're looking, I think it was like 50 or 60 grand at the time. And they said they were actually in the system of selling Ryan Christie till Celtic for £1 million. But at that stage, Celtic pulled out, and then instead of paying for him in January, they bought him in August. They bought him in January for 1.5 instead, or 750,000 instead of £1 million, because Inverness were messing about. So if it had been in January, I probably would have been able to stay here. But that's, as it says, that's football. It's just entertainment. Your timing has to be really good, or else it's really bad.
Yeah. So obviously you come back again, and then you go and sign for the Reds. How does that come about?
No, well, I like everyone already knew I was a Reds man. I grew up supporting Glenville all my life. I went with my granddad and my dad for years. They all the matches, travelled all over the place watching them. And then Skim was there, and I sort of knew Lawler, and sort of had a chat about it. Every time we seen each other, I was always weighing it, like when he coming and what's happening. Joe had got his move away, Boise was away. I think McDade had just literally joined, and they were still looking for a striker. Obviously, Jay was coming through, and they didn't know Roy was away, so they were basically looking at a striker that was going to get them probably 20 goals a season, and they thought it was me, and they took a chance. You know, they did spend big money, but I believe that they didn't really get a fair shot at the Reds. You know, they sent me when I was injured as well, and they knew that. And it's sort of after a while, the niggles started hindering into my playing times, especially with the grass and stuff up there.
Yeah.
Just when you have a small niggle, it then becomes a big niggle whenever you're playing on them pitches. And you know, it was shocking the way it was all left about. You know, it was mostly blamed on everything me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't just all. It was just down to one person. It wasn't down to the squad that was meant to be.
Yeah. Do you think it was sort of like right place, just wrong timing?
Yeah, you know what? I would have loved it to turn out fucking unreal. You know, has stayed there for fucking 4 or 5 years and scored plenty of goals and won stuff with him. Played in Europe a lot more, but you know, it was just one of them things. As it wasn't, I shouldn't have went there. I should have stayed at Portadown. Yeah. At that stage. Were
you a wee bit apprehensive signing, because I can remember going to matches and the abuse that you took from the Glenville fans?
No, yeah, like that's part and parcel of football. Like I give it back more so than what I do get it. Yeah. You know what I mean? It gives you a wee bit more fire in the belly to sort of get a goal or set one off for your teammate and beat teams. You know yourself, like when you're playing anywhere, it's like a tight match, and then someone's squealing something at you at the sidelines, and next minute one's crossed in, you bang it in, you're running straight to them. You know what I mean? That feeling doesn't get any better than running across and getting it the fucking bigging against someone. You know what I mean? So not that affected me, you know, because once it did go up there, everyone that it did shout something at me. There always, anytime you went into a clubhouse, do you want a pint? How are you, mate? Come on, sign this for us, get a picture. You know, when you were going 2 weeks ago, you were calling me a fat bastard. You know what I mean? It was fucking, it's mad. but they're listen. Fans are there to be the fans. You know, they pay their money every week. They get boys good wages, so you can't really say nothing.
And what way did it all end? Did Lawler like call a meeting for you, or what way did it sort of?
Oh, there was a couple of boys pulled in, and I was the only one. Well, there was two of us let go, but I was the one that got the brunt of everything. That was putting the papers and putting the press and stuff. So I took it all instead and just says, look, listen, if you want me to resign, they sort of give me an ultimatum. If I didn't resign, they were going to come out and say what happened.
Right.
So I says, give me the papers, and I signed. But there was a few words said in the change room that they didn't really say nothing back because they knew.
Right. Leave it at that, sure. So, yeah, took a few months out after Clinville. What were you sort of doing with yourself? Not much?
No, it was training. I was training because I knew eventually I probably would have come back into football, whether it be Irish League or the Amateur League, just to get going. I sort of fell in love with it after Clinville, to be honest, because as I say, like the niggles of injuries and all, like I was never injured. Like when I was younger, never had anything happen to me. So then it was just like, once my ankles and knees started going, I was like, you know what, I'm going to take a break. Maybe it's my body just telling me to take a break.
Yeah.
So it took I think it was about 4 or 5 months out. And then I can remember, I think I ended up Big Chew. Or it was actually Paul Trainer contacted me on Facebook and says, look, listen, come up and have a training session, see how you feel with the boys. And if you want to sign, if you don't, just leave it. And I went up and I was thinking, you know what, I was just like being back playing with your mates. The laugh was there, it wasn't serious. Even though match days was serious and you wanted to win. But it was just that fun factor about being around boys that's laughing and training. And you weren't getting shouted at to fucking get this done and get that done. You were doing it, but it was a good laugh doing it.
Yeah.
You know, because you were yourself. You know what I mean? The banter with the boys was fucking top notch.
You weren't getting shouted at, I certainly was.
No.
So once you signed for a start, how did you find it in match days and all? Did you find it handy enough?
The first couple of games and all, I was thinking, like, you know, not that this is not my standard. I was just going, you know, I think it was a bit more of a fitness because it was a lot fitter. Well, I thought it was, but it seemed like when you were playing against the likes of the defenders down in the Amateur League and stuff, you were going, well, they're not as fit as because I'm coming from Irish League fitness, you know, that way. But then after a couple of months in it, you were going to start getting used to your movements because you're playing with them and stuff. And then I found it tough, like compared to what I did years ago. When I was younger, I thought, fuck, this is easy. You know what I mean? Like playing against full-on fellas and you're going, this is easy, these are fucking brutal. But then when you're a wee bit older yourself, you're going, fuck, these are fucking decent. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it was, to say I loved the start. We won the fucking the cup and stuff, and we had a great party and all for a couple of days after.
We won the club's first ever amateur league title. I think it's safe to say you had a small part in it.
Yeah.
Also, you scored a wonder goal at Solitude, and it was caught on camera against R9. We turned away, remember?
Oh, the wee, what do you call them, drag backs? No, wee clipper. I don't think the keeper had hands that day, though.
Leave him out of it. Do you think that was the catalyst for your move to 1 Point? Because that was all over the internet for a while. And they were thinking all these stuff.
Sensation got me in my move again. The Tippy sent me a notepad down, come on, he scored a cracker.
So was Tippy a manager when you went to 1 Point?
Tippy was a manager. I sort of knew Tippy through probably scales and stuff. Tippy had left Portadown whenever I had just joined to go to the Blues, and I sort of knew him through scales and just through general chat of football when you meet up with people and stuff.
Yeah.
And then he just contacted me and says, "Look, listen, come down and give us a year. If not, if you don't like it by January, you can just go." And I was thinking, right, sure, what I've got to lose, and you know what I mean, I wasn't working again, and I was thinking, fuck, I'll go down and get a few quid and play, hopefully get another move or whatever. Yeah. And I went down, and I think I had like 12 or 13 goals by January for 1 Point, and it was against all the big teams. It wasn't, you know, it was against the likes of Cruise and Linfield and Glentoran and Clinville and stuff. And then it was obviously January came, and Cruise had shown a bit of interest, and Coleraine were looking at me. I think them two were sort of battling it out for the league.
Yeah. So
then it was between them two and who was the highest bidder that was going to get me. So that was basically it with 1 Point. But I enjoyed down there. Now the sessions were the training sessions were top notch with Stevie O'Donnell, who was end up being the manager last season. I know they didn't do well, but his wee coaching sessions and Chrissy Wright, them two done the session skills, and Tippy just run about with cigars, messing about, and it was good crack. The only thing is travelling down there is a nightmare. You go down to Thursday night at 8 o'clock for training, finishing at 9:30, and you're not getting home to fucking 10 to 11.
Yeah.
And it was a bit much, but it was good, well run family club as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They must thought highly of man Stephen O'Donnell, because obviously he ended up becoming the first team manager. Was he did he have his A license or something, or what was it?
But from what I know of Stevie, I knew Stevie was at Celtic,
Right.
and I think his career was cut short with a heart defect, and then he went into doing coaching with Celtic over there. Then he came back home and was at Dundalk coaching there, because he started his playing at Dundalk. And his sessions that he was doing were brilliant. As I say, Tippy and Scales just on the running sessions, which was proper running, old school running.
Yeah.
But I like to say, whereas my hamstrings were a bit tight and my thighs were sore, so I had to cut short now and again. But Stevie's was brilliant. Stevie was top nuts, and Chris Wright, they had the sessions set up brilliantly. But one point was, it was a good move for me at the time.
Yeah.
So, as you say, I could have stayed at the Star and enjoyed myself even more, but I thought, you know what, I'll go and challenge myself again and see if I can get back to playing the way I was playing.
Yeah. So it wasn't too long before, obviously, you made the move to a Cruise. How did you, going into the Cruise team, how did you find it at the start?
I was dead on, as I say. You basically know the gist of the league, because you've played against them for so long over the years, and you sort of know the likes of Ogres is a messer, and Cadell's a messer, and Jordan Owens and Big Coachy are the serious ones, and you're going into a change room who are boys that have won the league within the year before, so you're going, there's no fucking about here, and you're sort of egging in and going right dead on. We Gavin White, he was like just different level, like even in training sessions he was just frightening, absolutely scary talent he was, and it was just a big mess about football. It's serious enough, but it's the laughs you have in change rooms that sort of get you wanting back playing football.
Yeah. So obviously you're going for a title and whatever. Then you didn't weigh in for a match. What happened there?
I just went missing for a wee weekend, and I didn't report the football. No, that actually wasn't. I sort of we went to training on the Tuesday. I think we had a match with no match on the Saturday, so we were in training on the Saturday. And Big Chicken was injured. He was struggling with a calf injury, and he says to me, "Red, I'm going to play you." Then we were in the Monday, and he says, "Look, listen, I'm not going to play you." So I just thought, and it was St. Paddy's Day, I think, actually.
Right.
And I was working, and then just ended up fucking off.
So obviously Baxter didn't take that too well. What happened when did you go back in, or did he just phone you, or what happened?
No, I went back in for a meeting, and just we sort of got it sorted, and then they says it was basically down to, which was right. They just said to me it was basically down to the players that didn't want you back because you could have let them down, and I says, well, that's fine, and I understood that there, cause it was just a simple mistake that I made, and it's probably one of the most ones that I regret.
Yeah.
At that stage, I was probably close to being back to where I was, of being probably the best player that I was. So it was. What's that?
You were flying at the time. I can remember.
Yeah. At my debut, I think I played probably 6 games for him and had 5 goals. But it was just one of those things that my head sort of took a spin, and something things were happening, and I just went, I don't know what. There was a bit of different things going on at the time. I just went, know what. I just done what I normally used to do, was just go out and fucking drink, as a dickhead I was.
Right. Anyway, so left the Cruise and end up back to Portadown. Tippy's there now, that's in there. So what happens here?
Tippy was there, and sort of it just I wasn't doing nothing. I was sitting about, and Tippy says, "Look, listen, come down, get your head down, play football again. We understand you, and whatever you can do whatever you want, but just make sure you're playing and training. You can do whatever you want off the field, but once you're down here, you're fucking working hard and you're scoring goals, and that's it." And it was sort of going all right for the first couple of months, and then I was working and stuff, and then wasn't making trainings, and they weren't happy with it. And then January came, and someone had phoned me and says, "Look, listen, just before you go to training, there's a wee whisper that you're going to the Ards." And I says, "Right." So I get down to training on Thursday night, and we got like before training, everyone's going out, and he calls me, he says, "Look, listen, I'm letting you go." And I says, "Right, that's dead on." He says, "But you're going to the Ards." And I says, "I'm not going to the Ards. There's no way I'm going to the Ards." He says, "You're going to the Ards." And I says, "Listen, whatever deal you've struck with Ards for whatever player it is, I am not going to fucking Ards. Yeah, let me go and I'll get my own team in January." And he says, "No, you're going to Ards." He says, "I'm definitely not. I'll just sit down here and I accept my ways. I don't care." He says, "Dude, that's not the way it works. We wanted to go." I says, "Well, it does. I'll just sit here." He says, "I'll send you to train with reserves and stuff." He says, "Don't care." So he says, "Me and your mates now, so don't be going that way." I says, "Well, I don't care. I'm not moving. I'm not going to Ards." So the next day I was thinking, Ards manager phones me. Was who was it? No, Niall was at Portadown. He played Nixon, Colin Nixon. Colin Nixon phones me and he goes, "Come down, we'll give you X amount and this here and that there." And I says, right. I was thinking, right, sign off here again, right? And I says, "Right, well, I'll think about it." And then Big Ronnie phones me.
Right.
He goes, "Look, listen, I'm only off the phone to someone there. You're not signing for ours, you're coming to Glens." And he says, "That'll be a hard one because you and Portadown aren't in good terms." He says, "Leave it with me. I'll make sure you're at Glentoran the next 2 days." I says, "Right." So I went and trained with Glentoran on the Thursday. And Ronnie phones me on the Friday morning. He says, "Right, that's signed and done. You're a Glens player now." And that was it. But me and Tippy still good mates. So we're all right.
That's good. All right, well, big bugger sorting you out again, you know what I mean? Taking it out of Glens. So,
Hey, good for managers to look at you.
So, as I say, get into Glens, bit of a shit show behind the scenes at the Glens at that stage. But you're just looking to get the head down, get back playing, or what's the sort of situation?
I don't really know what was going on at the Glens at that time. Like I knew it was just like they wanted Ronnie out and the team wasn't winning. I know it's that season they went unbeaten until the 1st of December.
Right.
And then in December, I think like from December till near enough the end of January, they lost like fucking 10 games in a row. And then obviously they brought me in and I saved their season. No what way. But no, like as I say, and then Ronnie had, I think Ronnie had 2 games I had under Ronnie at the games, and then he
didn't last too long.
He resigned, but he left me here in good stead, so it was all right.
That was all right.
And no, Guy Smith, Smicker came in. Guy Smith and a few other boys that were there, Paul Lehman, that looked after Glens. They were there when Ronnie was there anyway. And they steered us in the right direction, and well, we were winning games. Mm-hmm. You know, I think I had another good load of goals from January till the end of the season. They were near enough. I think they were sitting in 8th or 9th whenever I joined, and then we end up 5th and battling with Clinville in the European spot for 4th, and then Clinville end up beating us in the final. So
yeah,
you know, but we done all right from where we were in January until then, and then obviously Mick came in. Mick actually came in the Clinville games.
Right.
That's whenever Glens had let Smicker and stuff go. It was his first game that he came to was the Clinville game where they beat us up there, and then Smicker and Lehman were left in the lurch to go and find other jobs.
What sort of happened there? The new Mick was available and they just went back.
I honestly don't know. That like it was probably down to the new owner trying to come in, you know, Ali and stuff. But nothing was ever told to the players why them boys were left, and I think that them boys still don't know why they were shafted out. To be honest,
madness, isn't it?
You know what I mean? But sure, listen, that's football. Football's a business game, and it's all about who you want and who you don't want them.
Correct. So when Mick comes in anyway, what's your thoughts on Mick?
He was brilliant to start because he seen me scoring goals and he came in and he says, "Look, listen, you'll be my main man for the rest of the season and next season." And I believed that, and you know, it was training sessions again. Him and Wendy, Big Wendy was just the bulldozer of the two of them. Wendy didn't give a fuck what he says or how much he hurt people. Wendy just said it, or else he'd have gripped you by a scruff or by the back end and just said, "Get out and fucking do a job," or whether someone hurt, he'd say, "Fucking get up and just get on with it." You know, when they just the old school player manager sort of type. But Mick was he's like the tactician sort of. He has everything down to a T because he's been all around the world, so he sort of he knows the ins and outs about the football. Mm-hmm. But I'll say this, like whenever he was gassing me and John Hearn at the start of the season, or John Hearn was playing near enough every game until he found out that he was going with mixed knees. John Hearn's been shipped out the Larn. You know what I mean? So he's ruthless.
He is, sounds it. So obviously, Norby mishap at the Glens, and you get a loan move to Carrick. How did that come?
I went to Liverpool. It was a birthday present. There was to be fair, the birthday present was bought in October for the first week in January, where she didn't know the first week in January is the Irish Cup weekend. So I was thinking, I haven't played in fucking 12 weeks. I've played reserve games, I've played behind closed door games, but I haven't played a league game or whatever. And he says, I told him whenever I booked it, and then I told him before Christmas, and he says, okay, we'll have players there. Then all of a sudden they were struggling. But I was already away on holiday, or away to Liverpool anyway for a weekend away. And then whenever I come back, it was just that I was missing and I didn't tell him where I was. But I went and met him and got it all sorted, and he understood that he did where I was.
And then you go on loan anyway to Carrick?
Yeah. Well, I thought that the Glens were just going to release me and just say, right, that's you done, go ahead, away you go. But they said to me, look, listen, go and play for Carrick. You know, everything will stay the same. If we want you back, we'll get you back. But go and do a job for Carrick, keep them up, help them stay up as high as possible, and so hopefully go and score goals. Go and play against the top teams, basically, and try and do us a favour.
So, obviously, the Glens are looking to go full-time and stuff. Is your contract up, obviously, this month with them?
No, it would have been up on the 31st of May, but then because of the new rules of the AFA, I think they have to prolong it until the 1st of September.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't think I can sign for anyone. Unless, you know what I mean, the Glens might want me back. They got ready at our big striker, like.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
There's a good chance, like.
So if they offered you full time, would you go full time on?
So we were full time at the start.
Right. We
were full time from the start of this season. We were in Monday to Friday.
Right.
So we were, as I say, full time is a different experience because the only time I done that was when I was away, when I was younger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was sort of very hard to adapt to that. You were in Monday, you were doing or Monday was sort of if you were playing the Saturday, you were in Monday, it was a late session. But if you didn't play, it was a running session. Then you had a running session on a Tuesday, weight session on Wednesday, Thursday session was the typical football stuff, and then Friday was like a warm down.
Right.
So it was tough. It's tough at the start, and then after a while, you sort of get used to it coming in through the weeks. As you say, it's hard. Like it was hard for me because I was working, and then they asked me to stop working to go full time. Do you know what I mean? So then once this all kicked in, I had no job, so I basically didn't know where I was going to go to try and get a job or try and provide. You know that way.
That's the big thing between, because Larne as well they're sort of, as well as Glentoran are going to find out next year because they're looking everybody full time. There's only a player that you can sign because people have jobs.
Well, that's it. You know, like the likes of, as I say, the older players probably have like decent enough jobs, say teachers or bank managers or mortgage people, whatever. Yeah. You know what I mean? How are you going to say to them, right, look, listen, I need you in 5 days a week? You can't give up their job unless you're going to tap the ways that they're getting off their actual job. It's tough for them.
Yeah.
But for me, it was easy because I was only working at a bar, so it was easier for me just to go, right, I'll go full time because I was getting more money then.
Yeah.
I mean, whereas that way, Daddy and me more than what it was for me working in a bar.
Yeah. So obviously everything's a wee bit up in the air at the minute with the Glens and stuff, but how would you look back so far on your career?
I've enjoyed it. Do you know what I mean? I know I've made a few mistakes along the way, but I've enjoyed myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to look back and go, do you want to know what I should have done? I should have done a few things different, but I'll not look back and go, I wish I hadn't have done that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's all been like, it's all been a movement for me to go, do you want to know what? I've enjoyed every fucking minute of playing football, whether it be in the amateur league, whether it be in the Irish league, or whether it be across the water. You know what I mean? It's brought me places that I probably thought that I would never get when I was younger. Now, I've played in Europe a couple of times, all over places, and experienced big mad stadiums with loads of fans in them. And do you know what I mean? It's great. Do you know what I mean? You could be sitting not doing nothing. You could be sitting scratching your balls and fucking just sitting about doing absolutely nothing, whereas I'm playing away.
And interview people.
Right, it's good after.
Right, we'll finish up with quiz just at the end, just to finish off. So best and worst. So best finisher you've ever played with?
It's Guy Twig.
Guy quality, wasn't it?
Ah, mate. Saying that, like, Joe, I played with Joe. We were at the league.
Yes.
8 years ago. They were the days.
Third team.
And Joe, for me, because Joe was still, I think Joe was, I wasn't playing Irish League in, there was he, but we were young. But Joe back then was, even still to this day, we all know how good finisher he is. Even back then, he was top quality. Yeah. But Twig, when I seen Twig, like I'd seen that down at Shamrock Rovers for years, and he was just lethal on them when he came to Portadown. Like, his finishing was fucking frightening.
He would do nothing the whole match. Just pop up with a couple at the end, just be like, man.
Mate, just do nothing, just stand about, then bang, 2-0.
Right, worst finisher?
Worst finisher? Probably wee Johnny Fraser at the Glens. Mate, he just, everything had his shins.
Fucking he scored a hat trick against us now.
Big Paul Byrne still trying about that.
Oh, fuck's sake. Don't say that. Right, anyway, where are we? Fucking getting lost here. Best touch?
Kevin Braniff.
Quality.
Ah, mate. He was like fucking, he was like glue stuck to his foot at times. Unbelievable player, like quality.
Magic. Worst touch?
Worst touch? I'd probably give it to wee Johnny Fraser again, to be fair. Actually, when he came to Glens and I think we played Ballyclare Comrades, and he scored a hat trick, and I was on the bench and I was thinking, oh my god, he's going to be quality here for us. And then we played it like it was an in-house game against the Welders, and every time the ball was played out, then he went to take a touch, it went out. And every time he went in on goal, he was just scanning it and hitting it wide. Mick was actually stamping his hand on his head, going, what the fuck are we saying here?
Brilliant. Fittest?
Fuck. Joe McNeil was up there.
Yeah.
I remember, we were doing the 4-minute runs, and I think he had it done in 2. Or he had only come back from America at the time, and fuck me, he was absolutely ripped to shreds, and he just run. Michael as well. Sean Michael was. It looked as if Michael carried a bit of beef, but he was fit.
Yeah.
Connor Pepper would be up there.
Is he?
The Glens, aye.
He was over at Inverness.
He was at Morton and Inverness as well, aye. But nobody's saying that because he always talks about one goal he scored over.
Right. Fattest. Can't say yourself.
For fuck's sake. Don't know. That's tough now because I get a bit of abuse about this now.
That's what it's for.
Well, I'll tell you something. Mark McAllister used to dip Mars bars in the Battle's original Lucasade. Swear to God, he loved the new chicken burger at the station grill as well. Go with McAllister.
Go to him. Quickest
that I've seen or played with.
Annie.
Gavin White.
Rapid.
I remember a game against the Glens where I can't even remember who the player was, but he stuck it through his legs, and your man tried to turn him. By the time your man turned, he was already scoring the goal, and it was on the right wing where he nutmegged your man.
Class. Slowest.
Who's the slowest? I don't know. Joe Crow at the Glens is very, very slow. Great lad and great player, but it looks as if he's towing a caravan every single day of the week.
And then last one, there's no worse, just best talker you've ever played with.
Best talker? Probably Connor Pepper. He loves to let Nolly knows everything about the football game. Like He's like 23 years of age, but you think he's in his late 30s. He talks up shit. Big Burn, I'll give it to Big Burn as well. He loves to talk.
Burn loves it.
Burn gets the change room going though.
Yeah.
So he does.
Listen, that finishes Diesel. Thank you, mate, for doing that. It was brilliant.
Nope.
So hopefully see you out in the pits sooner rather than later.
Get that contract sent down. Tell Big Chew.
Thanks, man. I got it sorted. Can't wait.
All right, mate.
See you later.